think we need to go like 50 or 75 basis point cuts. I don't think we need to go large. We could take things meeting at a time, which means if some meetings we need to go up, we can. But guys, look where we're at in terms of inflation now, guys. Headlines, the only one they do a pretty good job of. We are dangerously close to reporting tomorrow a negative month-over-month number. Give me liquidity. You don't buy the rate cuts are bad narrative? No, I think those people are fucking jokes. I'm gonna be an asshole about this one. The people who scream, well, in the past cycles, they don't understand why those rate cuts happen. They point to a shit economy and say, see, we cut and that caused a bad economy. No, asshole, we cut because the economy sucked. We're not cutting because the economy sucks. We're cutting because inflation is going down, which multiple people of the Fed have said that's the case. If you can't listen to it, stop listening to macro people. It's not meant for you. That's my argument. I will be an asshole about this for the next few months. Like, if you think all rate cuts are the same, stop listening to macro at all. You're not built for this life, son. That's what I'm telling you. I don't care what the past has looked like. This will be one of the first times, by the way, we will cut rates because inflation dropped without an actual recession. Unless you're going to make the argument, we're in a recession. Anyone making that argument? Go ahead. Doozy, how you doing, my friend? I missed you. Yeah, the China deflation numbers were bad. Ooh, they were bad, yeah. I tell you, Xi Jinping's going through some shit right now. I don't think he's like, what do I have to do? Meanwhile, there's more and more articles being published talking about quantitative easing, talking about direct government investment. Hey, it easy. How you doing, my friend? Inflation is going down. We still got core CPI. It's not sticky. It's not sticky. It's not sticky. I'll challenge that. I'll challenge that one right now. The bigger problem, Deezy, is we know how lagged the shelter component is. The bigger problem at this point is what looks like stickiness is actually the lag effect. And at a certain point, if we hold back, we're going to hit an actual recession. Like, we'll cause that. We will cause that. Because at a certain point, we're going to start getting these big negative shelter components, which will smack the shit out of the core. That's, I think, the bigger problem. We've been talking about shelter? Yes, we have. We have been talking about shelter for well over a year. And still at shelter, yeah. If you go through the last CPI report, by the way, the vast majority of the components are in deflation. Shelter is the one that's not. Housing market's still fucked, yeah. Which, by the way, Nadeezy, we will then look back at this a year from now, and we will point out the big mistake the Fed made had nothing to do with interest rates. It was buying those goddamn MBSs. Back in 2021, that was the mistake. That was such the mistake. Those MBSs, that was the biggest mistake of this cycle, aside from maybe we could argue the fiscal hose being sprayed liberally, right? MBS. No, they fix it more MBS. I don't want us to ever do MBSs. I want our government getting the fuck out, which is going to be brutal as shit. And I've heard good arguments from people pushing back on me for this, saying, no, we should do some MBSs. I think fiscal policy should be the case. But it's not. In an election year, causing people's housing prices to go down, I shit on people who talk about the, quote, wealth effect of the equity market, but I don't think we talk enough about the wealth effect of the housing market. That's for real. What's this promo? Only the Magnificent 7 are up. Yep. Stocks at a 52-week high. Yep. A lot of good companies here. B Hood thought mortgage-backed securities buying is way out of the fence. I agree, actually. MP Tosca, how about removing the mortgage interest rate deduction? I've been arguing that for a while. People have pointed out, though, that ever since the Trump tax cuts, the vast majority of people don't itemize deductions anymore. So actually, a lot of people don't get it. We got an increased standard deduction, which to me makes it more likely we should do that. But I have been arguing that MP Tosca for over a decade. I've actually always believed that because of the renters. But keep in mind, it's less impactful. The impact it does have, though, will be predominantly against rich people. And I'm sorry, I'm supportive of that. I think the fiscal policy moves, while we're seeing the lag effects of monetary policy, a little sketchy, tricky. I think it's very sketchy in general. Narnar Drewski, this is a good question. My argument is going to be this. The bulk of the inflation we saw was twofold. First of all, the majority of the inflation, there is a word that begins with a T. The bulk of the inflation we saw was transitory, i.e. supply side driven. It was disruptions during COVID. It was the fact that we shut down the bulk of the service economy, but not the goods economy. Supply chains got snarled. Labor was dramatically impacted. We shut down immigration. Okay? That's not all the inflation. That's the bulk of the inflation. On the demand side, I don't think interest rates mattered. I don't. Sorry. I think fiscal policy had a much bigger deal. Handing people checks was more impactful than lowering interest rates. I'm saying it. That's the issue. I think so. When I put it like this, I think at some point we'll see some rewriting of like economics textbooks, right? I truly think that's the case. We'll see the rewriting of economics textbooks. Anyone who's going to say in the future, who's going to pull that Friedman quote that says inflation is first and foremost always a monetary policy issue is fucking wrong. They've been proven wrong. Fiscal supremacy. Okay? It's not the availability of capital. It is the distribution of capital by the government is a bigger issue. That was the issue. That's my belief, at least. But the PPE loans, those were traumatically, disgustingly fraudulent. But I think they were a bigger driver. Put it this way. PPE loans were bigger than the Fed cutting interest rates as much as they did. Jay is a fiscal supremacist. That's true. I am. And by the way, had you talked to me 4 years ago, pre-pandemic, and you had told me what was going to happen, I would have said inflation would spike, but I would have said inflation would have spiked because of the monetary policy. I would have been wrong. I studied economics during grad school. I thought it was a monetary policy thing. I would have been very wrong. They're both huge aggregate demand shifters, absolutely, and it's going to be always hard to isolate, but I'm going to go back to this, Narnar. We can look at like Japan. Japan's been practicing quantitative easing for like the last 25 some odd years, right? Only now do they actually suffer from inflation. Now, we all know, we've talked about it a lot, demographics has a lot to do with that. It does. Absolutely does. So it may have been hiding some of the inflation they should have been receiving because their demographics was massively deflationary. That's almost certainly the case. But their demographics didn't substantively change. And now they go through inflation because they're suffering from the same supply chain effects that everyone else did. Hence, that was a bigger deal. And that's the transitory nature. But yeah, this type of argument I actually love. This is the type of debate I fucking love. Like, I love economics, sociology, politics. Like I love these grand, like, debates. Because, I mean, you're talking about the intersection of, like, millions to billions of individual decision makers. It's fucking wonderful. Really is. Demographics is an aging population's dying, not just dying out, leaving the workforce, right? But then you also had a reduction in labor movement during COVID. Everything got shut down. A lot of cross-border flows of talent got shut down, right? I mean, Japan and like Korea, you have a big problem where these countries need to start importing people. They need mass immigration programs, and they're culturally not really comfortable with that. The US, we cheat. We have a cheat code. It's true. And no, I'm not talking about eating avocado ass. I know you guys. I know how you roll. All right? The cheat code for the US is our immigration policy. We immigrate people. And we bring them into America, and within 1 generation, 2 generation, they're full-blown Americans. Whiskey Chai, that is so disturbing. Waterboard them in McDonald's offers. Savage. Spency Boo. Home sales numbers are on track to be lower than 2008 at this year. Yep. It's hard not to think demand is just being pent up. Prices might skyrocket next year. Shelter inflation peaks could get nasty. I have a crazy prediction. If you see rates come down, more supply enters the market. Essentially, the housing market, what pushes up the housing market is the imbalance in supply and demand. If the last component of inflation that stays high is shelter, the Fed should cut rates. Cutting rates will bring down prices. I know it makes no sense at face value. But what you need is people willing to sell existing houses. Also, holy shit, guys, I'm gonna be an asshole. Let's chat. I'm gonna be an asshole. You guys hear about all that legislation around like Airbnb, right? Like, or institutional investors not being allowed to buy like multiple single family homes? I fucking love it. I love all of that. I don't give a shit. I would be perfectly okay with the government saying, like, if you own rental properties, you might want to sell that shit because in the next 5 years, we will do everything possible to make you lose money. I am okay with that. There are 2 areas in which I do not like large numbers of investors: housing and health. Just saying. Just saying. Why? Because fuck them. That's why. Why should we take away real estate for retail as a form of investment? Because it pushes prices up, right? It pushes prices up. And the fact that we have so much government interference within the housing market, it's not what I would call a, quote, fair market. Hey, suck on my nuts. Thank you for the sub. Greatly appreciated. Says we'll pour. By the way, I'm okay with that. Trader Podcast says that's just demand and supply. Why let them buy bonds? No, it's not, because we've give so many different forms of tax treatment. It's different now because of how we've switched treating like itemizing mortgage deduction interest. But the entire argument as to why the government has subsidized home ownership through the deduction of mortgage interest has always been because the government has said we have an interest for societal good to let people achieve home ownership. To me, that's the argument as to why we should not see speculation in real estate. Now, there's a separate component I would go to, which is a lot tougher. A lot tougher. There's no sickle tattoo, and I have no tattoos. What I would love to see is if, and it's impossible, this is very anti-democratic, I would love to remove all these fucking local zoning capabilities. The ability of a bunch of rich white people to basically say, we're not going to build multi-unit because it'll lower prices. Mm-hmm. Jesse, I will murder you. I have no tattoos at all. Opinion on Cigna at this level, it's trading at less than 10 times forward PE. I'd have no... I already sold my Cigna today. I would love to see a drop to jump back in. Cigna's cheap. Should there be a limit to how much property a real estate company? I think, dude, if you have a real estate company, that might be one thing. There's probably a good way to do it to be able to bring in investment on housing. But mainly, housing is the sector. Housing and healthcare, the two that I have the biggest problem on speculation. And I'm sitting there telling you, those are the two most involved by the government. Okay? Put it this way. All right? So, podcast, you talk about the idea of like bonds versus houses. Do bond owners have the ability to prevent the issuance of other bonds to replace their bonds? No. Right? Yet all of a sudden you own a house, you own enough of a property, and you can control housing or zoning decisions for that area to keep new construction out. It's a problem. This is where individual investors and society writ large have differences. And when you have taxpayers involved, Freddie, Fannie, FHA, mortgage tax interest, etc., it's a problem. Spencer, Jay, let's add more regulation to buying home. No, let's just tax the shit out of people who hold investment properties. If you hold investment properties, like, tax the fuck out of it. Tell them well in advance. I don't want to punish people. Like, but if you're going to be better off buying bonds or stocks than investing in shelter for other people. Buy your own house. That's fine. California's stupid. You know that, Spencer. California is fucked for different reasons. California is like the land where logic goes to die. Yeah, I said it. You pay different taxes on primary residence. California's stupid. We should tax you guys at the federal level just for fun. For being stupid. Sad progressive noises. Wow. But yeah. Housing is so... Shelter is so... Government is so involved. Government has a vested interest at this point. Put it this way. Do you think anyone would buy in the property if they knew that at any given time another developer could buy a plot of land and freely construct? No, they wouldn't. So they're using the organs of government to stop it. So fuck them. I love the people investing in their own houses, and when it's time to sell that house, that's fine. They buy a new house. I'm okay with that. But I don't want those fucking TikTok people with like 80 rental properties. I don't want BlackRock with 200 rental properties. Fuck them. Tax the shit out of them. Yeah. And then lower rates. When the government was involved in more people having somewhere to live, was that a fever dream of yours? Oh boy. Yeah. Vancouver is an example of suffering from extreme speculation. Yeah. Should be illegal for non-citizens to buy homes. Let's be cautious about that one. Let's be cautious about that one. I think it should be extremely uneconomic for people to, for anyone, foreign or not, to buy housing as an investment for not themselves, i.e. speculation. All right? But I don't want the argument of, quote, should be illegal for non-citizens. Because, Doozy, what's the big issue? That is basically issue of, like, foreign money being parked in Canada in particular. through housing, that's a separate issue than like someone doing investment properties. But yeah, I've known a lot of people who are, quote, not American citizens who have the absolute right to buy property in the United States, and I support that. They're going to live in that property. I wouldn't want someone from Dubai or Australia buying up like a neighborhood in the US to then rent it out to other people. I wouldn't want an American to do that either. Companies should not be allowed to buy a city block and raise prices. I think companies should be basically, if at the investment level, there should be massive taxes on home ownership. And then when you reside in a house, you get all that back. So if you're going to rent out to people, the people you rent to get the housing benefit with the taxation benefit, but you don't. That way, if anyone's thinking like, oh, they're just going to pass along the cost, and go, nope, because if they try and they're stuck with property that's not being, if essentially it's the vacant tax, where if they have a property that's vacant, they're paying out massive taxes on it. They'd rather sell it. I literally want to chase them out of the market. That's my goal. I'm an asshole. So yeah, somewhere near what like Mudman's mentioning. Because also keep in mind, like people that are at the lower end of the income spectrum don't tend to own houses. They rent. They don't get that tax benefit. By the way, so many people talk about like corporate welfare. The actual number one form of corporate welfare in the United States in the past was the mortgage interest deduction, because that proved to be a big boon for realtors, for home builders, for material companies. You basically enabled people to buy more expensive homes. Said no one is asking a very good question. How much would that crash the housing market? Honestly, it would. It would. It absolutely would. It would crush the housing market. That's why I would love to be able to sit there and have an administration come in and tell people, like, in the next 5 years, if you own rental properties, it's going to be a bad time. Get out now. Right? Didn't the stock market start dipping when the debt fear popped up? I have no clue. There's always, I mean, doozy, there's always debt fear. Galloping Conch. Well, boys, the lady hasn't answered your text asking her out. It's work time. She probably hasn't checked her phone. Give her time. Reminder, guys, Oracle's tonight. Oracle is the earnings tonight. This is a wild chart. 18 times forward PE. This is one of the most proliferate stock buybacks out there. Oracle is a very, very good company. I'm not playing them. I hope they drop. I want to jump back in Oracle. This is a company I've played numerous times. I want them to fall. If it dips, I would buy too. Put some BJ2. Yes. By the way, y'all want to see one of the craziest charts today? Look at our boy Air. Wait for it. Sell rental homes and buy bondage. Oh, hold on for a second. We have our friend. She's out of people. Are you ready to fly into the camera? Ready to fly into the camera? Hershey says hello. All right. Hey, Beauty Marked. First time chat. You to appreciate Hershey. Hershey says hi. Here we go. Ready to get tossed, Hershey? Good for you. We yeet the pup because there is a bed right there and he loves it. All right. When will Era bounce back? I have no clue. It was on Semi's earnings. On Semi, by the way, I'm glad I bought on in my 401k. Like, that was a good call. This company should be so much higher. They still haven't filled that gap fully. They still have about $5 left in them as far as I'm concerned. My cost basis, by the way, because I bought some on Semi when it dropped. My cost basis was $66. $66.59. Not bad. Should have bought the on Semi dip instead of the air dip. Or you could buy both. Or you can buy both. Your first time chat, long time watcher. Your husband watches every day. Oh, your husband's Chung. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Beauty Marked. Thank you for joining us. Yes, we know your, not like you know your husband, obviously, but right? Yeah. God damn. This is just a wild chart. By the way, Goldman Sachs didn't move much. Mo, tell me why I shouldn't be jumping into Goldman Sachs right now. Help me understand this. Why should I not? I mean, like, this is the vampire squid. If you're going to cheer for a banker, cheer for the most evil but competent banker out there. Is there anybody more evil but competent than Goldman Sachs? Yeah. They know how to make money. Yeah. Right? Mo, do we like Goldman Sachs? If you're wondering why I asked Mo, it's because I respect her opinion. But Goldman plays in her space. Okay, reminder, Goldman Sachs is not a traditional bank. You are not buying them for things like customer deposits. No. You are buying them for investment banking, bond issuance, mergers and acquisitions. Right? This is why you want them. And if anything today, I think we're seeing more and more news that the capital markets are, quote, unfreezing. I assume Mo is in the process of writing a fucking treatise. Oh my god. This is what someone posted in my Discord. For all you cat fans. From the top rope. Cat just clobbers the poor girl. We do. Remember that investment banking is dead for the rest of the year? Got it. Hey, Reggaetoni. It's good to see the economy recovering while everyone's on debt. Everyone's always been on debt. Everyone in America will always be on debt. That's the game, my friend. People complaining about debt for Americans need to contrast it to their income levels. And keep in mind, we're not in a bad spot. Lonesome Fuckface says, sorry, Frogface, David Solomon is a near lookalike of a young Bruce Willis. And we do like Bruce Willis, but what if I told you we do not like David Solomon? No. DJ D Soul needs to fuck off. Mo? Whoa. You're sure that girl deserved it? Mo. Can't say that. And Mitaska does correctly point out Goldman Sachs is getting out of the Apple card, which is almost certainly a good thing for them. All right, guys, 10 minutes to go. Reminder, CPI tomorrow morning. There is a legitimate chance we print a flat or negative number. Jade's visit has been revoked. Canceled. How am I playing CPI? By not giving a shit. That's how. Am I strong? Yes. I'm very powerful. Market on close in balance is 1.9 billion sell side. Ooh. You guys know what that means. That's a buy signal. 1 billion plus on the sell side is a buy signal. New Year's year? No. Not in New Year resolutions yet. Your Soxel average is 28. What is it at now? Wow. You round trip that fucker, Will. Janet Sarista Goldman, one of the biggest primary dealers of treasuries, terrible auctions. Okay, gotcha. That's helpful. Thank you very much, Mo. I appreciate your knowledge and your willingness to help us. I will still mock you later. Yep, Jesse's tried to do God's work, reminding you degenerates to not hold it for a while. Hey, Venkat, how you doing, my friend? Broadcom, the one that got away and away. Is FOMO worth it at this point? I'm not jumping in yet. The interesting thing, by the way, on semiconductors is Oracle's earnings are tonight. Now, let me pull up. Reddit's, by the way, has been giving me problems all day long. Ooh, we also have Casey's tonight. Johnson Controls tomorrow. A lot of people know about them. They're a pretty big industrial company. Hey, played pretty long. Yeah, I do feel better. All right. Yeah, we got Oracle. Oracle's tonight. Oracle, here's what I'm really interested in. What do they say about the state of CapEx? Right? What's the state of CapEx going to look like? That's why I think NVIDIA is an interesting play on Oracle. Oracle is one of the bigger consumers, by the way, of NVIDIA GPUs. So it's one of those things where I think Oracle will talk very, very specifically about their trajectory of spend, right? Thoughts on UPS? Ooh. I don't like UPS because I kind of think of them as a shit cow. The argument you make is why I actually like Amazon. Yeah, rate cut plus CPI coming down. I mean, the issue is, by the way, I don't expect us to hear specifically a lot about rate cuts this week. Easy, you're an Oracle long. Oracle is a great company. By the way, for a lot of people who look at the past of Oracle, Oracle is such a different company today than they were even 5 years ago. Oracle is one of the newest cloud players. They also had the Cerner acquisition. So they bought one of the larger healthcare data infrastructure companies, Cerner. Oracle is also the company that hosts TikTok in America. So believe it or not, Oracle will be a bit of a conversation about AI. Dog, where am I on Adobe? Oh, God. Adobe is this week, too. I don't know what their chart looks like. I'm very bullish on the company, though. I'm pretty sure last earnings, by the way, last earnings were over here. Yeah, so they're in the same channel as last earnings. Adobe is a really good company. This is one of the first companies to actually benefit from, believe it or not, AI. Up 1 penny away from 462. Jussie told you guys there was a good chance we'd end the high. I'm going to sell out of my Unity weeklies. Most of my plays are not weeklies, so I bought Amazon Januaries. I bought actually RSP weeklies as well. When I heard the what's it called? Close market on close number. Yep, gold chart is hilarious. It's not nice. Don't make fun of them. Listen, I just believe that Peter Schiff should never win. You've been off. Do you know why your AMD position's on a tear? Their AI event went really well. They were basically able to start announcing who was placing orders. It was Microsoft and Meta were the two big ones. So, by the way, NVIDIA is doing fine. All right. They're not getting crushed. I know. That was people's concern. Hey, Terrible Terry Tate, thank you very much for the sub. Greatly appreciated. Poor NVIDIA, only up 226% now, right? They're suffering from success. Meanwhile, their guidance for this year, they're basically make more in cash than they've made in their entire history, right? All right, guys. Time. Well played, well played, well played. NVIDIA, Air, and onsemi are the only positions going green. Nice. Yep, everybody, Bulls won today. Bulls won, Bulls won. For a video game, for a crypto company, don't you mean? The pivot point was 461, so the Bulls won today. All right, guys, the only earnings we care about today are Oracle. Casey's could be interesting, but it's really not. Today is about Oracle. What do they call out specifically for their Cerner business? What do they call out for their enterprise software business, which no one likes? What do they call out for their cloud business? I think they're supposed to report, by the way, at 4:05. So, hey, Tommy Hayes, you cracked 2 million? Well played, well played, well played. Channel points, by the way. I've been all right, yeah. A little under the weather last week. Granite Bravo, don't sleep on your boy Qualcomm. That's a ballsy move, and I respect it. I have a decent quantity of Qualcomm. I am supportive of them as well. Any more ways to spend J points? Yep. Someone says that a bunch of 121 weeklies on Oracle just got right at the bell. 350 contracts. Queues are up in the after hours, but small. Yeah. This to me is fake. They've not reported earnings yet. They've not reported earnings yet. Now, I want to see Oracle. To me, it's a sneaky, NVIDIA's a sneaky sympathy play based on what they talk about for CapEx. By the way, I have no exposure to Oracle. I wouldn't mind if they miss, honestly. Oracle is a company I'd rather be in for a longer term. It's a very good company. The funny thing is the enterprise component, like I almost wish that would go away. White glove delivery. I assume that means the drone is wearing white gloves. By the way, I responded to someone earlier in Wall Street Bets today who had mentioned, like, why was Lulu doing so well after, quote, their guidance warning? So I asked them the question, like, what guidance warning were you talking about? Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, so basically it was a post that Lulu had cut, quote, gross margin guidance. And I reminded them they may have cut gross margin guidance, but they guided up revenue. They narrowed their guidance for the full year EPS. And meanwhile got a shitload of price target increases. So keep eyes on Oracle. Less than a minute to go. And then Larry Ellison's playground. We find out what's been going on. Yeah, you don't know why you would only Oracle at greater than 20 PE. Is it greater than 20 PE? I got Oracle at 18.5 right now. Oracle also traditionally has a really good stock buyback. I think the only reason it doesn't show that they bought back shares in the last like 12 months or so specifically is because of the Cerner acquisition. But essentially, promo, it's the Cerner acquisition. The real reason you want to buy Oracle is because Epic Systems will not go public. That's the company I want to buy. God, between Chick-fil-A, Epic Games. Oh! Looks like we get our entry opportunity. What'd they do? Oh. Oh. What'd they say? Caliotter's correct, by the way. Careful. Oracle always dumps on earnings, at least at the start. If I remember correctly, I think they're like Microsoft. They don't do guidance until the phone call. So EPS, slight beat. Adjusted revenue, a miss on revenue. Oracle, second quarter cloud revenue in constant currency was plus 24% growth. Cloud services and license support was plus 12%. The cloud revenue is the part that people obviously like. Yeah, don't be in a rush to buy. Don't be in a rush to buy. Don't be in a rush to buy. But I'm pretty sure they don't do guidance until the phone call. But yeah, they missed on revenue. I would love to know why. Demand for our cloud infrastructure and generative AI services is increasing at an astronomical rate, said the CEO Safra Catz. As a measure of that demand, Oracle's total RPO, remaining performance obligations, it's basically backlog, climbed to over $65 billion, exceeding the annual revenue. Our cloud businesses are now at nearly a $20 billion annual revenue run rate, and cloud services demand continues to grow at an unprecedented levels. Business is good and getting better. Oracle's in the process of expanding 66 of our existing cloud data centers and building 100 new cloud data centers to meet growing demand. NVIDIA, said Oracle Chairman and CTO Larry Ellison. We can build our new data centers very rapidly and operate them inexpensively because they are all highly automated with identical high-performance RDMA networks and the same set of autonomous services. In the next few months, we are turning on 20 new Oracle Cloud data centers co-located with and connected to Microsoft Azure. Simultaneously, we're building dozens of new data centers in countries all over the world. Demand is over the moon. Oh. Let it drop. Let it drop. Let it drop. Jesse, what's the buy point? You saying 103? 100 is an interesting spot. We're currently at 107. Can we get lower, please? Can we get lower? But why'd they miss on the revenue? Why did they miss on the revenue? Remember, it was a revenue miss, so it's not like they just, oh, we're spending so much to build out infrastructure. No. This was revenue they missed. Dumbest money. Wait, are they in the same data center as Azure? So they talked about co-location because Oracle has a lot of cloud services that they sell. So they've supposedly signed a deal with Microsoft to basically offer up some of their cloud services through Azure to basically get towards Microsoft's existing customers. No problem. Yeah, dumbest money. If you know the history behind it, the idea that Microsoft and Oracle are working together is hilarious. Let it drop. Risk of Microsoft. I don't understand why they dropped yet. Rather, I don't know why they missed on revenue. Keep in mind, Oracle has a few different buckets of business. And what we want to understand is which bucket sucked. If it's their enterprise software business that sucked, and that's what we're wondering if it is, then this is a buy. Because no one cares about that business, really. Like, if Oracle sold off their legacy database systems, that's then you buy what's left. Larry did you dirty. I'm so sorry, my friend. His commentary is ridiculously bullish, but I want to understand why they missed on revenue. It looks like their cloud revenue was down. They basically missed by, quote, 60 million, which is a nothing. ODC, a cat litter company, record revenue. Interesting. Oracle preview. Main discussion topics constraints Oracle's experience in building and scaling modern generative AI data centers. The category did not officially back off any of its financial guidance. The constraints include difficulty getting H100 based clusters into production at scale, higher than usual fail rates amongst GPUs to handle the rate of production, trying to keep up with demand. Ooh, requirements for liquid cooling and difficulty procuring enough power. I've heard there was a power component shortage. Great near-term execution risk. Yep. Casey's is out. If I care, I do. EPS small revenue missed. Casey's is Midwest and South gas stations, general stores. If they missed on revenue, unfortunately, the easy answer to that one is, of course they did. Gas prices are down. So, Promo, you think there's a possibility revenue recognition could have been impacted by build-out issues. Got it. So that may have caused their miss. That could explain why Larry Ellison was talking so much about their build-out of data centers. Because basically they fucked it up this quarter. Okay. If that's the case. But it makes sense. It's logical. Rad, so no longer buy Oracle. Wait for it. Let's see where they drop to. See where they drop to. Oracle's a really good company, so I would love it. If we got 100, I'd be really happy. Really happy. Goes without saying, if we would get 94, or somewhere near 95, that's even probably better. I don't know if we get that. Oracle at 100 might be the level. Jussie called out 103. Remember, if you're ever talking TA, do not listen to me. I suck at it. Caliator, you think undercut 100 before rallying? Yeah. Either way, really good company. If they don't pull shitcode behavior. Hood, almost no solar renewable company that got bodied by higher for longer 5% still haven't recovered, and you see tailwinds in 2024 with the IRA and rate cuts. Interesting. When we getting J TikTok thirst traps and Bin Laden was right? No. Keep falling, Oracle. Keep falling, Oracle. Keep following, Oracle. Come on. Keep falling, Oracle. Keep dropping. Second time Oracle gets clobbered on earnings, yeah. But it sounds like Promo posted a piece that made a good argument. Essentially, if they missed on revenue, it was execution issues, i.e., it was their inability to build out infrastructure to match demand, not that there was not consumer demand. So for anyone saying like, well, how is cloud strong if Oracle's missing on revenue? First of all, Oracle's entire business is not cloud. Second of all, it's because they probably fucked up setting up data centers. Yeah, I'll upload the stream before I'm done. Yeah. Oracle revenue is down because Larry Ellison spent a lot of money trying to restore eyebrows. Yeah, that does match the backlog statement, which, again, Promo called out. Two small jars of maraschino cherries. Ugh. Cherries suck. Sounds bullish NVIDIA. Most things do, though. NVIDIA's not really moving in after hours. That's good. Reminder, Oracle still has to give guidance. We have not seen guidance. So if you were short Oracle and you can close those shorts, do it. Don't press it. It's my recommendation. Cherries are expensive. Bullish NVIDIA. Analyst thinks Macy's is worth $25 a share in takeover. Wow. There are a lot of retail companies that are pretty fucking cheap. You are really the god of wrong market timing and counter. Don't beat yourself up. You're a smart dude. Even when you and I disagree, I've always thought you were smart. I've said it multiple times. V Bears, generally speaking, has the smartest bears. Like, we can quibble about like the degree to which markets price in stuff. That's fine, but it's not like I've heard like straight up stupid arguments. I go to FinTwit and I hear those stupid arguments. Are we gonna get lucky and see? Jussie called out 103. I'd love to see 100. Then I'll buy. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Who do we raid today? Oh, the sumos are up. All right, guys, time for a booby stream. The best kind of booby stream. But thank you guys very much for tuning in, and I will catch you tomorrow. Thank you for welcoming me back, and I will see you all. Bye.